This is the News 4 Rundown.
Tonight on the News 4 Rundown, we are entering the final hours of preparation as a powerful winter storm heads our way. Crews have been preparing for days now with salt trucks ready and power companies on alert.
This could be one of the most significant winter storms we have seen in years, with heavy snow, ice, and bitter cold. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for the News 4 Rundown. I am Amy Cho.
And I'm Eun Yang. The snow is expected to start late Saturday and continue through Sunday all day. Schools, airports, and businesses are all preparing for disruptions that could last into next week.
We're not ready.
No, we have team coverage. Our Storm Team 4 meteorologist Doug Kammerer and Amelia Draper are tracking the timing totals. Our Dominique Moody is live also with how D.C. is preparing for the storm.
We want to start with Doug and Amelia, though, who are tracking the forecast. We want to see how things are looking. It's been changing by the hour, really.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to watch that make its way in. You say changing by the hour, literally going from a high of 41 degrees in Hagerstown to a wind chill right now of 10 degrees.
I mean, the cold air that is streaming in here. I want to stay here. I want to stay at work because I love it so much and I don't want to experience the cold.
Amelia's trying to get a raise.
Good thing for you. There's weather coming.
Yeah, are you sticking around for the 11th?
Sure.
Oh, nice. That's what I'm talking about. Let's show you the timing of this storm because it's going to be moving in tomorrow. Now, the cold air is already moving in here, but the storm itself moves in tomorrow night. Here's 5 o'clock on your Saturday. No snow around the area. It is just frigid, but here comes the snow in here by 9, 10, 11 o'clock out there on our Saturday night. Now, the snow continues right on through early on Sunday morning. It gets heavy at times. I'm thinking 1 to 2 inches per hour at this time. And right now, it's all snow for everybody around 7. But notice the mix comes in. By 1 o'clock, just about everybody in our viewing area is seeing a mixture. Snow, sleet, and areas of freezing rain down to the south as well. What are we looking at for that? Well, let's talk about the cold, the snow, the freezing rain, and the mixture here. How does it happen? Well, we've got cold air at the onset of the storm. Plenty of cold air, as a matter of fact. So that snow coming down through the cold air does not melt. It goes all the way down as snow, and we see accumulating snow. By the time we get to the sleet, well, now we've got a layer of warm air. This is all warm air that's pushing in across the area, but it goes up and over the cold air. So as the snow comes down, it melts, becomes rain, and then refreezes and becomes ice pellets as the cold moves in. So once again, now you're talking about pellets of ice making their way down. That's sleet. Freezing rain has much colder air, much warmer air aloft, and that warm air goes all the way close to the surface. We're at the surface, we're below freezing. So the rain comes down, snow comes down first, melts to rain, goes all the way towards the surface, and then when it hits the ground, it freezes on everything. So what do we mean by that? Well, we're talking about the difference between freezing rain and sleet. Freezing rain, rain freezes on contact with everything. That means power lines, that means trees, and if there's enough of it, trees could come down, power lines could come down as well, and power could be out in places. Where sleet is just pellets of ice that fall from the sky and they bounce. We would much rather like sleet than freezing rain. We're going to talk much more about what to expect as we move on through the next few days, but everybody's getting something out of this one. This will be a storm that sticks with us for quite some time.
How about neither? Is that an option?
I was going to say, all right, fast forward to April, please, Doug.
I wish.
Thanks so much.
Well, as we get closer to the storm's pending arrival, D.C. leaders are making sure residents are prepared. Earlier today, Mayor Muriel Bowser placed the district under a state of emergency to free up extra resources.
So tomorrow, a snow emergency will take effect. News 4's Dominique Moody joins us live tonight with more on how the city is getting ready to handle all this winter weather. Dominique, we've seen empty grocery store shelves, a run for shovels. It's just madness out there.
Yeah, that's right, Ann and Amy. And we know that people, they want to make sure that they are able to hunker down and have all the materials that they need. Here in D.C., we know that the Department of Public Works, throughout the afternoon, they were getting ready for tomorrow and Sunday. They really want to make sure that they are able to go out into different neighborhoods. And hey, check this out. The National Guard has also been called in to help with this storm as well. They want to ensure that first responders are able to make it throughout the different neighborhoods if they are called to an emergency. And when we talk about this storm, one of the things that D.C. officials kind of pointed out was the fact that we know that there is going to be that snow. We know that there's a potential for that freezing rain. And we also know that it's that chance for potentially to see a little bit of those residual effects even after the storm comes and goes. So one other thing that Mayor Bowser kind of talked a little bit about was making sure that you are ready. Take a listen.
Get prepared and be prepared. We need you to get inside. We have our outreach teams out all week getting people into shelter. And let me be clear, we have space for everyone. And this is seriously dangerous conditions for people to be outside.
And so, again, we know that the Department of Public Works has been working around the clock really to ensure that they're able to hit some of those snow zones. Also, something else you want to keep in mind is that if you have a vehicle that are on some of those snow emergency routes, that you remove them, because come tomorrow and through the next couple of days, they're going to be giving out tickets along with towing some of those vehicles along those routes. But Amy and Un, we know that on Sunday, hot chocolate, coffee, all your snacks inside is the best route to go.
And the game. I know you're very excited about the game, Dominique. You've been talking about it all evening.
Hey, Amy, I didn't know if you were going to mention it because I know I was talking with Un. But, I mean, yeah, you mentioned it. You hit it on the head. I'm definitely going to be trying to see what the games are like. And I hope that a lot of other people are going to be doing the same.
Yes, if you can stay inside and stay safe, that's the best bet for sure.
That's ideal. Yeah. Thank you, Dominique.
The approaching storm is disrupting events planned for this weekend already. Monster Jam has decided to postpone events happening Saturday and Sunday at Capital One Arena in D.C. The events will be rescheduled to later dates.
Well, in Virginia, VDOT says it is ready to do battle with whatever comes our way. Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey is at the Salt Dome off I-66 in Fairfax County, and she has more on the Commonwealth's plan.
It is quiet here right now, but tomorrow morning the activity starts to kick up as VDOT plows and trucks pull in here, load up, and head out to stage for what's coming our way. VDOT might shout it from the top of the salt domes if they could. It's their most urgent message to you.
We really need people to stay off of the roads from probably midday tomorrow until at least Monday. We're looking at a significant amount of snow. We're also looking at ice.
Off the roads as early as tomorrow because more than 3,200 pieces of equipment assigned to the Northern Virginia District will start loading up and staging tomorrow morning. And for this snow, VDOT is even deploying front-end loaders on the interstates.
But it's just the sheer quantity of snow that we're having to move out of the way. It's going to be so much. We're anticipating it's going to be so much that we need that kind of equipment to move it.
Meantime, Northern Virginia residents scrambling to do some staging at home with what I'm calling the Big Four, the snowstorm essentials: shovels, ice melt, sleds, and hand warmers. This Ace Hardware in Fairfax packed with shoppers hoping to score at least some of them.
All of our sleds from last year broke, and since there's nothing else to do but ride snow and hills, I am on the sled watch. I've been to 4 stores already, and on our neighborhood Facebook page, everybody said come to Ace.
But the ice melt, harder to come by. The store ran out last night.
I'm just worried about the sidewalks because she was supposed to clear that. So I have to find out if there's a substitute for salt ice melt.
There were hot hands aplenty and a surplus of shovels. Hundreds of them arrived this morning. Workers just kept unboxing them and they got snapped up. But this guy scaling up. After a DMV-wide search for a snow blower, he found one here. You didn't want to shovel this time. You're like,
well, I did want to, but even more than me, my wife didn't want me to. She expects me to be around for a while, I guess.
And this is one of those snows that at home might be best tackled in stages. Now, VDOT, they're going to head out first to hit the interstates, the primary roads, and the busy secondary roads. They say some of the subdivisions don't expect to see a plow maybe until Monday, and even then, you'll probably see one of the smaller trucks on your street, not those big ones out on the interstate. In Fairfax County, I'm Julie Carey, News 4.
And Maryland is pulling all the stops to tackle the snowstorm. The state's Department of Transportation has brought in specialized snowplows from Garrett County, able to move 3,000 to 4,000 tons of snow per hour. This afternoon, Maryland Governor Wes Moore declared a state of emergency and also asked the White House for help to respond to the storm. News 4's Darcy Spencer has more now on the preparation and what residents are being asked to keep in mind.
Pepco officials say they're mobilizing crews to respond to power outages. At first, they were preparing for mostly snow, but now sleet and freezing rain will be major factors.
So for us, that gets a little bit more concerning. What we're doing is, for us, this is going to be an all hands on deck event.
Ice can stick to trees and branches, causing them to get heavy and fall into power lines and cause outages. While crews will be working around the clock, their safety is important too, especially when driving conditions are treacherous.
There may be periods of time when they're not able to get around to the system. So we're asking folks to be patient. We're going to be out there trying to restore outages as they occur as quickly as we possibly can.
In Prince George's County, Aisha Brayboy is preparing for her first major snowstorm as county executive.
We have been monitoring the weather forecast of a major anticipated storm for days. And I am proud to say that Prince George's County is ready.
Government agency leaders are asking residents to stay off the roads if possible when it's snowing and wait 24 hours after snow has stopped before calling 311 for services. Hundreds of workers will be working 24 hours a day to clear roads and maximize safety. Public Works crews have already started pre-treating roads with brine.
It allows you to use less salt, and it makes the roads easier to plow.
The county has a website, pgctracksnow.com, where you can see where plows are operating. It updates every 15 minutes. County leaders say it's important to keep in mind we're in this together.
You want to check on your neighbors. You want to be mindful at the store. You know, I still have to go to the store. We were talking about that, leaving enough for your neighbors, right? And just being a community. That is important because it's going to take all of us working together.
Prince George's officials say they have the resources they need to handle this storm. 34,000 tons of salt, hundreds of trucks for salting and plowing. They say this storm is going to take a lot of patience, and keep in mind, primary and secondary roads are plowed first, so it could take some time to get to those neighborhood streets. In Largo, Darcy Spencer, News 4.
Well, as we brace for extreme cold and the possibility of power outages, water officials are urging everyone to prepare now. Remember to add water to your grocery list. If service is disrupted, experts recommend storing 1 to 2 gallons of water per person per day for at least 3 days. Remember to store water also for infant formula and pets. Homeowners are also being reminded to protect their pipes. To help prevent frozen or burst pipes, keep indoor temperatures about 55 degrees. Letting a faucet slowly drip or opening cabinet doors can help keep water moving and pipes warm. And ahead of the extreme cold and snow, download the free NBC Washington app. Just scan the QR code on your screen. As the storm gets closer, you can track the live radar for your neighborhood and get alerts from Storm Team 4.
Still ahead on the News 4 Rundown, the best part of snow at News 4, of course, the Snow Stick Challenge.
We love seeing your pictures. Tommy McFly has a preview on how you can participate. And Doug is tracking the latest on the forecast.
Yeah, tracking the latest on the cold, working its way in right now. Look where we go by tomorrow morning. Wind chills 5 to 10 degrees below zero. A very cold start on our Saturday. And we end our Saturday with snow falling. We're going to break it down for you. Amelia joins me in just a minute.
You really only have one more day to get ready, and in many cases, if you don't have all the things you need now, you might be out of luck.
You might be. I mean, the stores, they've been crazy.
Yeah.
Shelves are empty. It's getting cold already.
And you said you went to the hardware store today, Doug?
Yes.
And the situation there?
They were out of most of the batteries. They were bringing out more of the salt, the rock salt to bring out as well. So that was Straw Snyder's. They were doing a really good job of restacking things. I also went last night to Safeway, and they had everything out. They were trying to restock as well. So, you know, they're trying to do a good job of keeping up with it. But I know it's a tough thing to do for sure.
It's just such a frenzy. I was at the grocery store today, and I was telling you this earlier. shocked to see the salad section completely depleted. I'm like, I guess that's what everyone reaches for. Of course, like
no,
the
they
milk,
want the Doritos and the ice cream.
That was well stocked. The Dino Nuggets, well stocked. That's all
Really?
we care about
Oh,
in our family. So we're good to go.
There you go. Yeah, see, Kenton used to love those too.
They're so
Let's
good.
show you what we're dealing with out there right now. It has gotten significantly colder around our area. The wind blowing, you can see it out towards Veterans Park here in Rockville. The road's looking good though, but that is not going to be the case as we look towards the day on Sunday. 40 degrees right now. Look at the wind chill. Look at the wind at 20 miles an hour. We're seeing gusts to 30 now as that Arctic air works its way in. The wind chill of 28 in Manassas, 18 in Winchester. Look at this, 10 in Hagerstown. The high temperature in Hagerstown today was 41 degrees. So you feel 31 degrees colder now than just a couple of hours ago. And that cold air is going to continue to sink in across our area. So like we told you, your Friday night is going to be a frigid Friday. It's not a fantastic Friday, is it? Let's show you. Storm Team 4 radar, nothing to show in our area now. You go back to the west. Here's our storm. And look at it really just blossoming now in towards parts of Texas, in towards parts of Oklahoma. This storm system making its way towards the east and will continue to do so. Look how much of the country is affected by this. Everybody in the pink is under a winter storm warning. Parts of New Mexico and Colorado, most of the state of Texas, all the way up towards Boston. Just amazing how many people are going to be affected by this storm. Areas like Atlanta in towards areas around Charlotte, North Carolina, and then down to the south, just to the north of Houston, over towards Memphis. These are all ice storm warnings in the dark purple. That's where we're going to have power outages. The ice storm warnings are going to be, the power outages rather, are going to be rather prolific, especially, I think, in towards the Carolinas here and northern portions of Georgia, maybe as far north as our area. And that's what we're watching for. As we move on through the day tomorrow, here's 5 o'clock, no snow. Everything is fine tomorrow. It's just cold. As we move on through the afternoon here, or evening rather, here comes the snow around 10, 11 o'clock. If you're out late night tomorrow night, say 10, 11, 12, even 1, I think we're okay. This is going to be fairly light at the onset, but then it picks up very quickly. It becomes heavy by 7 a.m. Everybody's picking up 1 to 2 inches of snow. I think we already have 3 or 4 inches on the ground by Sunday at 7 a.m. And then look what happens by noon. Most of us now dealing with ice. I think it's sleet for the most part. And then during the day, this becomes sleet and freezing rain, especially south and east of D.C. Freezing rain is by far the worst thing we can get before all of this moves on out by tomorrow night. So we'll be out of here by around 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Everybody's under a winter storm warning. That was issued a little bit earlier today for tomorrow night into the day on Monday. So it does encompass everybody. Here's our snowfall forecast. 10 to 14 inches to the north and west. That includes Winchester, Frederick, Hagerstown, Poolesville, Clarksburg, and Damascus, back towards the west around Petersburg into West Virginia. You could see a little bit more than this if you stay all snow, and that's the best area that could stay all snow. Everybody else is getting ice. 6 to 10 inches of snow in and around Warrenton, D.C., Fairfax, Dulles, Reston, Herndon, in towards areas like Lanham and Laurel, over towards Bethesda, Chevy Chase, Kensington, towards Baltimore. 6 to 10, 4 to 7 down to the south. That includes Calvert County, St. Mary's County, parts of Charles County, and down around Fredericksburg. Those are also the best areas that could see ice. Let's take you on a little closer look here. Let's take you through our 4 zones because, Amelia, when we talk about a storm like this, we really do need to break it out zone by zone.
Yeah, especially when you talk about areas south and east of Washington have that better chance for ice, whereas north and west we're thinking all snow. So I'm going to start off in the D.C. metro zone. This is where most of us live. This is including parts of Prince William, Fairfax, Montgomery, Prince George's counties, the district, Arlington, and Alexandria. So in our D.C. metro zone, snow is going to arrive around 10 o'clock on Saturday. We have heavy snow quickly accumulating here Sunday morning, but by lunchtime in the metro, we're already starting to see some sleet potentially mixing in. There's a small chance for some freezing rain, some freezing drizzle as this event comes to an end during the late afternoon and evening hours, something we will continue to monitor. But more than anything, we're thinking snow and then some sleet piling up on top. So you'll definitely want to shovel multiple times. And that's not just for the D.C. metro zone, but everybody. Now, southern Maryland, back through Stafford and King George counties, down through the northern neck, Fredericksburg. A heads up, we are most concerned about a prolonged period of freezing rain in this area. Around 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more is possible. That on top of snow is treacherous when you're trying to get around. Also, that will lead to power outages. So really make sure you're prepared if you're in our southern zone. But everybody at this point should be prepared. Taking you out to our western zone. This is Frederick, Loudoun, Fauquier counties. Snow starts late Saturday during the evening hours, close to midnight. We have heavy snow that falls through the midday hours on Sunday, and then we add on some additional sleet and snow. In our western zone, we're definitely thinking more snow than sleet, but still, just like everybody, you want to avoid travel Sunday, likely even on into Monday, if at all possible. Then I'm going to take you out to our mountain zone. This is the I-81 corridor, Hagerstown down through Luray, Frostburg, far western Maryland, and the panhandle of West Virginia. Pretty much we're thinking all snow here in our mountain zone, maybe a little bit of sleet, but in our mountain zone, this is where we're talking about the highest snowfall totals. Snowfall totals here anywhere from about 10 to 14 inches, maybe even a little bit more. Doug, I think the most interesting component to this storm is this sleet, freezing rain kind of line. Who sees sleet? Who sees freezing rain? And how does that impact the snowpack? Because if we're forecasting 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches of sleet on top of near double-digit snowfall amounts, I mean, that's something we were trying to think back in our memory banks. We're like thinking all the way back to 1993, where you kind of had, not kind of, but you got a ton of snow and then sleet on top. I mean, seeing this part of the storm play out, this icing component, is I think where we're really going to see kind of the interesting dynamics here.
Yeah, and if it's sleet or freezing rain, it's very hard for us to predict this. This is the hardest part of our job with this storm, is what kind of precipitation you've got falling from the sky. Is it snow all day? Is it sleet or freezing rain? And right now we know it's going to be either one of those, sleet or freezing rain. We're just not exactly sure who gets what and when. If you get the freezing rain, it's a lot worse. Take a look at this. This is a picture of the tidal basin. Look at the ducks out there. They look good, right? Well, think about this. By Sunday afternoon and definitely by Monday, these ducks will be walking on the tidal basin because it will all be frozen over, and it starts tomorrow with temperatures like this, starting off in the teens, getting up into the low 20s. That is it, but no snow during the day. It is just a cold Saturday, so if you still need to get out, you can. 26 on Sunday, 30 on Monday. Look at the cold air. All the way through next week, we stay below freezing. This is going to be one of the longest stretches of below freezing temperatures that we've seen in a very, very long time. And yes, there is a chance for some snow, light snow, Wednesday night into Thursday. So we'll be watching that too.
Wonderful.
Yeah. A lot for you to do, right, before the spring comes. It's the best part of the snow day here at News 4. We are talking about the Snow Stick Challenge.
Oh, yes. It happens a few times each year, and Tommy McFly gets to present the most recent winner with their prize, the beloved Pat Collins Snow Stick. Tommy has more on how you can enter.
As we get ready for a News 4 snow day, preparations are also underway for the Pat Collins Snow Stick Challenge. It's a favorite winter activity. When the snow falls, you get to get creative and let us see your best video, your best photos on a theme. Can you keep a secret? This theme is the Snow Stick Games. You might have heard the Olympics are coming to NBC4 on February 6th, and for that, we want you to show us your best winter sport, your best podium stance, your best winter energy getting ready for the world competition. And here closer to home, the most creative photo or video moment is going to get a limited edition, priceless, coveted, sought after, beloved Pat Collins Snow Stick of your very own. So between now and when the snow falls, get the creative juices going. Start thinking about your post. Think of how you're going to make that moment happen. And I'll join you live on News 4 Sunday morning as the snow is falling down. And we will have a little bit of fun with the Pat Collins Snow Stick Challenge. Until then, stay safe, stay warm, and don't panic buy too much.
No promises there.
Too late. My girlfriends have shown me pictures from the grocery store this morning. Empty shelves all around.
Yeah.
People get a little crazy when it's going to snow here.
Yeah, yeah. As if you didn't have toilet paper already.
I was going to say, I do love the Snow Stick Challenge. And I have to say, the viewers send in the best, most creative pictures. I've judged many, many times, and I've always enjoyed seeing what people can come up with.
They're so dedicated.
Did you see the guy jumping into the snow?
Yeah,
I think he won that year.
I should hope so for his efforts.
Right. And then we have the pets involved, the babies involved.
Yes.
Bring
Make
your
sure to
best.
get your entries in.
Exactly. And that's going to do it for the News 4 Rundown for this Friday night.
But be sure to join us tonight for News 4 at 11. Have a good night and stay warm, everyone.